Hi, I'm Steve Kane, BNI Director Consultant and a fellow BNI member just like you. You might see my dog in the background right there. Hey, today I want to talk about a word, one word, that I think can help everyone in BNI. You know, in BNI we have our code of ethics and we have our 7 core values. I keep my core values on my desk. Our core values are givers gain, meaningful relationships, lifelong learning, traditions and innovation, positive attitude, recognition, and accountability. But there's another word that I want to discuss today, and that word is mindfulness. Mindfulness. What do I mean by that? Well, I got a question for you. Are you mindful of what others go through to get to your BNI meeting? Whether it's currently on Zoom or when you were meeting live, did you ever give it much thought what others go through to get to that meeting for you? Now, I know you know what you go through every morning when you have a BNI meeting, whether it's getting up, getting the household prepared, getting maybe children to school, on the bus, whatever that looks like. But when you got to your meeting, did you ever give any mindful thought to what others did to get to that meeting as well? Think about that. The efforts that you put forward to get there for others, others are putting forward to get there for you. And I think we should be mindful of that and appreciate those efforts others make. How about mindfulness of the meeting itself? Have you ever given thought to what it takes to make a meeting happen? Do you know, perhaps, or appreciate what your leadership team does on a weekly basis? You know, we have reports every week. Well, they just don't show up. There are people creating those reports on their own time for you. Are you mindful of that? Are you mindful of the setup of your room? Or of your visitor host getting there early to set the room up? Or perhaps all the efforts everyone had to make to adjust 6 months ago for our Zoom meetings. Have you thought about that? What others have had to do willingly to help you? How about mindfulness of your weekly presentation, your commercial? Do you give that much thought? Why do I mention this? I know a lot of us in BNI, we got this down pat, and so we don't really think about our presentation until maybe, I don't know, we're 3 people away before it's time for us to give our presentation, or maybe it's just that morning, whatever that looks like. But here's my thoughts on this. If you don't give much thought to your weekly presentation and your ask, how do you expect your other members to succeed in BNI? It sounds kind of quirky, but think about it like this. We're here practicing the giver's gain philosophy, right? Of course we are. So if you don't give much thought to your presentation and it's not something that's actionable, your fellow members can't help you and they can't give business to you. And if it's a giver's gain philosophy and if they can't give business, why in turn would you want to give business back to them? Because you're not getting any from them. So give mindful thought to your weekly presentations. I see some great ones each and every week from people on a regular basis. Specificity, a good ask, and then I see others where we can just tell they just winged it. Mindful thought on your weekly presentations. How about, do you take notes? You know, others are watching. In a meeting, on Zoom, we watch. We see who's engaged. We can see who's listening in. Are you going dark screen on a Zoom meeting? That's not a good look. That's not a good look if you're going dark screen. Sometimes at the end of meetings, we have people who are on dark screen long after the meeting's ended. That's not mindful thought. That looks like what you're doing is leaving the meeting early. And we all know we never leave meetings early. Give mindful thought to that. All of this is about your success and your members' success in BNI. What about the members that will maybe stand up and say, I'm going to go long, so don't time me on this? I would encourage you to give some mindful thought to not being that member. If by chance you have members in your chapter who do that, I'd ask that you or your membership committee have a conversation with them. If you have a member who waves off the timer, what they're really saying is what they've got to say is more important than anyone else, and their time is more valuable than others. That's not mindful thought. Mindfulness. I used to use the word respect. I always said that if everybody would show respect across the board in BNI, you'll be successful. But then I thought about it. You know, the opposite of respect is disrespect. And those two just don't always play out well. Just because you might not show total respect doesn't mean you're disrespectful. But mindfulness, if you will be mindful of the processes and the policies and the guidelines of BNI, you will be prosperous. We all will succeed in BNI. I encourage you to think about this. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend coming up, whatever that looks like. Thank you once again for your time.